Look, first of all, thank you very much for popping out today and welcome to the launch of the Forever project for Fremantle Football Club. We're just out at beautiful Apsley Estate here in Mandogalup, about 5 k's down the road from Coburn Central, where we've got Fremantle Football's administration and training block down there. So it's a great opportunity. We're in front of what will be the first prize in our mega draw for Fremantle and the Forever project. And I just want to make comment to some other great prizes that we've got within there as well, within the mega draw. We've got $16,000 of pearl jewellery from Willie Creek. We've got a Toyota Yaris from Maddington and Canning Vale Toyota being provided. And the Good Grocer has provided us with groceries for a year as well. And they're just some of the over 500 prizes that we've got on offer, and in excess of over $1 million worth of prizes. So, the club's challenged at the moment. Pre-COVID, we were one of only a handful of AFL clubs that had positive reserves and no borrowings. We had cash at bank. And with COVID, it really put a bit of a dent in our expectation of, $60 million revenue this year, which is made up of obviously membership, sponsorship, game day, hospitality, etc. So we've really put on our thinking caps, tried to be as creative as we can, and come up with something that we really think offers a lot of options and incentive for our members, the Freo Army, to get on board and pledge their current membership to the club. And there's a lot of options there for them. They can pledge and donate in part. They can also opt to even purchase more tickets. And for someone who's a Freo supporter but not a member, we have a Forever Hero membership for $100, which gives them an entry in the mega draw as well. So we see this as not only a program of revenue retention, but also revenue growth for the club. And we think out of all of the 18 AFL clubs, this puts us in an absolute unique position. And the reason we think that's so important is really to pay back the loyalty and patience of the Fremantle membership. They've just been fantastic through this period. We've now got a date for return for contact training and June 11 for the start or restart of the AFL season for 2020. So it's really incumbent on the club that we provide this opportunity as quickly as we can to our membership. So without further ado, certainly happy to take questions.
Dale, how does something like this come about? As you said, it's unique. I don't even know any clubs around the world doing something like this situation. How did it come about?
No, well look, it came about very quickly. It's something that we had a bit of a thought about 3 weeks ago, of this not just being a campaign where we were asking our members to support the club financially, but we thought, let's get creative and what can we give our members and supporters to jump on board. So, it shouldn't all be one-sided, and we've been on a journey together. Everyone's doing it a bit tough, so I think if we're asking for that level of financial support, what could we give back? And I think what we've arrived at here is a combination of a great number of club supporters corporately that are providing those prizes, and then the club's gone to work with some really special and unique opportunities, one of which is sitting in the coach's box for an AFL game, other membership opportunities, etc. So we think that's really going to hit the chord with our membership.
And you personally, obviously, your business is putting in a lot of money here for a whole house. It's a big thing to do for you personally as well.
Yeah, look, from both a Dale Alcock Homes point of view, from my point of view personally, but I think also other major supporters in, Maddington and Canning Vale Toyota, Willie Creek Pearls, and the Good Grocer, everyone's doing what they can. And, there's a lot of hardship in the community, and I think it's especially important. I love this club, and I'm sure that many of our other providers of prizes in the draw absolutely love this club, and we're committed to it, and we love our supporters. The Purple Army's pretty unique, and I heard a line there on a little video that we did for our supporters, and Nerily Meadows narrated it, where she said, if you're not one of us, you just don't get it. And we've got a pretty special supporter base, and it's really up to us to encourage them to be on this journey. And one of the things I just want to make comment to as well is people are doing it tough. Not everyone's going to be able to support us financially, and that's okay. It's really important we take all of our members and supporters with us, And if someone's in a hard financial time at the moment, the most important thing they need to do is talk to the club. Everyone's situation's different, and we respect and value that, so we'll work through that with them.
So there's still an option if people need to cancel and need a refund?
Absolutely. Refunds are there as well. So this isn't a one-size-fits-all, and that's why we think the optionality of what we've come up with, it's that combination of giving people options to suit them and trying to keep it relatively simple and straightforward to activate as well.
Obviously the email went out to members last night. Have you got a bit of an idea about how many people have already committed to that membership?
Look, it's early days, but we're one of the great things with digital and online things these days, that you get that instant reaction and response. The response and reaction this morning from launching it's been outstanding, and the pledges are coming in thick and fast. So it's really being taken up the way we expected it to be, but it's early days. And one of the important things here, we know that we're going to need that AFL financial support, but we want to really borrow the minimum amount for the least time practical. And for the club to come through this, we want to really be owing the least amount to the AFL coming out, so we're not held back from where we want to go as a club, because with the changes we made at the end of 2019, new CEO, new coach, and a really young playing group, we've got our sights on a premiership. We're not going to be happy until we nail that, and that's what our supporters want to hear and know we're in pursuit of as well.
Are you hoping at some point that these fans are going to be able to come along to the games late in the season? Do you think it's a possibility?
Yeah, look, I think we're very respectful of the fact that to reboot the season, we had to compromise, and we're very happy to go to the Gold Coast and play our part. But we're also very hopeful, and we'll be pushing very much for there to be home games in WA at the end of the season. And again, I think we'd encourage everyone to take up that COVID Safe app, to do all the correct protocols and disciplines associated with it, to try and just keep that curve flattened so that we can see an opening up in WA of those restrictions. That's no criticism of state government. They've done an outstanding job to get us where we are today.
You can't have crowds and at the home games. There's also a financial benefit in terms of sponsors and stuff, isn't there? So that's why it's important to have your home games here.
It absolutely is, and I think it cuts two ways. I think it's for our sponsors and corporates, but also for our fans as well. Look, we all love this state. We want to see footy played here, even if we're viewing it at home, but knowing it's getting played in the state. But it certainly does have a commercial benefit for it to be here, absolutely.
Have you had any feedback? Can you even go to the hub and watch a game, or is it the president can't even get?
I'm not that good at footy, so I'm not here for my football prowess, so I won't be one of those travelling. And I think the important thing with that is it will only be those that are directly required to be there that will be travelling. And one of the things we've learnt through this COVID period is we can operate very well and support remotely. Yeah, look, I'll be watching absolutely intently, but the most important thing is we've got the people that matter there on the ground.
In regards to a derby, why would we encourage the AFL to hold a derby before you guys go to the Gold Coast?
Yeah, I certainly could see that it was coming out late in the day from Adelaide, but look, I think we're respectful. I think both West Coast and Fremantle are respectful that to kickstart the season, the arrangements are being made to go to the Gold Coast. We're fully supportive of that. But as I say, we're really pushing hard and we're really hopeful to get those games played in WA. And really, I think it'd be fantastic for us to see a derby here later in the season.
So not now, but you're thinking later on?
Yeah.
Just back on the house and the whole giveaway, is this partly what's going to save the club, something like this? I mean, you've said before the club won't go under, but it's because of things like this?
Yeah, look, I think the important thing that we thought through when we put our sort of creative hats on here was to come up with something that was really outstanding and unique, but also had scale to it. So, with over 500 prizes, with a prize pool in excess of $1 million, there's something in it for everyone. And so for us to really put forward the kind of demand, you might say, on the Purple Army, a real call to action for them to support our club, that's all about us not being saddled with millions of dollars of debt going forward. So critically, we had to have a certain scale of prize pool, you might say, and having the house and land is a really great, sort of cherry on top.
just back on the Gold Coast hub, Dale. There's a bit of indication, obviously, with the cuts that have had to happen in terms of players' wages and stuff like that. Is there any compensation for clubs or players to go to the Gold Coast?
No, look, as far as we're concerned, it's an obligation on us to play our part. And, I think if we look at it from the football club's perspective, but the players themselves involved, they all know and we know that we've got to compromise. And this is really pretty special. We've been given a pretty unique opportunity to be able to get going back to training now and then get the season cranked up from the 11th of June. And so we're pretty respectful of that, and we're not at all negative about it. We've got a young crew. We're going to tackle the challenge head on, and we're really pretty excited about being bunkered down there and the bonding that we'll get as a young group. And anything's possible for us over there. So we're really respectful and we're really up for the challenge, and we're excited by it.
Is there any more indication as to how much sort of freedom, I guess, the group's going to have in the resort in terms of being able to fully use the facilities, playing golf, using the pools? Is that sort of stuff all allowed?
Yeah, look, at this stage, we'd got an early indication that there wouldn't be access to golf course or say the beach. I think that's pretty restrictive personally, and it's something that we'll continue to talk to the AFL in particular about. And I think given that we're in a hub and we've got really the support and guidance of club officials there as well, we should be able to do that in a very safe and controlled manner. And I think just for the mental health and stimulation of the players, you're at a golf course, you're in that environment. It's kind of similar in a way to being in WA, and not to have that access over 4-week periods, I think would be a little too restrictive.
Do you think, given the sacrifice West Coast and Fremantle make in particular, I suppose the Adelaide clubs too, that there needs to be a payback with those home games later in the year? Like, these games have to count as away games, surely, even if you're hosting a team that is playing. That's ridiculous. You've got to get some payback.
Yeah, certainly the way we look at it, and I think the other clubs in the AFL, Melbourne-based, Sydney-based clubs, sort of get it. They understand really the sacrifice that West Coast, Fremantle, Adelaide and Port are making to get this season up and going. And several of the club presidents have come forward and saying, well, look, if there's other compromise that needs to be granted back to these clubs later in the season, they're up for it. So, there's really, it's been a lot of unity in this whole process through the 18 clubs in the AFL, working with the AFL, and that's been really lockstep. So, yeah, good camaraderie and rapport there.